There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say if you are discouraged, struggle just to make it through another day. You've got to let it all go. You've got to let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit in my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more trouble, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more trouble, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here
So let's come together in this moment. Join with me in our opening treatment, which is our word for affirmative prayer. And so as we come together in this holy, sacred moment, let us release and let go and truly and fully show up for all that God is. Because I affirm in this moment and know that God, Spirit, love, joy, peace is showing up as each one here in every moment. And so we acknowledge that power and presence that dwells and exists within each one of us. We feel it in our own being. We connect to it with each one that is here with us today. And we allow ourselves to expand even more and connect with it in all beings on the planet, in all life on the planet. For all of God exists as all of God in all of life. This is the truth that we know, that we acknowledge, that we live at Center for Spiritual Living in Morristown. We live the wholeness of who we are. And we have this extraordinary moment to remember that wholeness, to remember that we are created in the love, as the love, and by the love of God. And that is the love that goes forth today. That is the love we experience today in this magnificent Sunday celebration. That is the love that we are reminded of in the beautiful message that will be delivered, in the music that uplifts us, in the fellowship that connects us. So we give thanks for this spiritual center. And we give thanks for each one who shows up and allows themselves to be centered in the truth of who they are. And as I release this word, I release it with so much gratitude. Gratitude for this teaching, gratitude for this center, gratitude for Reverend Nicolette, who will be speaking today, Reverend Rich and his music, each one who is here sharing their gifts and talents in the most beautiful way. I give thanks that this word comes back full, because I know that is how the law operates. And so for this and so much more, I say thank you, God, and together we say, And so it is. And so it is. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Morristown, a vibrant community where love, joy, and inclusivity are at the heart of everything that we do. Here we honor the unique journey of every soul, offering a place of healing, growth, and celebration. Together, we create an atmosphere of openness and love where every person is seen, valued, and accepted, just as they are. I'm Reverend Janice Valera, and it's my honor to be the minister here at CSLM. Thank you for joining us, whether you are here in person and I see your beautiful faces, or if you're watching us on the live stream, or you come back and watch the recording at a later time. We are so happy that you are with us. If this is your first time with us, or if you haven't been here in a while, we welcome you and invite you to get a welcome packet if you didn't already get one, to complete a new visitor form so you can, we can let you know everything that goes on, all the wonderful things that we do here. And you're also invited to take a free book. We have books kind of everywhere right now. We do offer the free books, which are spiritually related books in the bookshelf. And we have some books left over there that we had gathered when we were offering them at a festival in the beginning of the year. So they're for free too, and we have fabulous bookmarks. So we invite you to take those as well, and also pass those around and give those to friends. If you're not signed up for our constant contact newsletter, there is a sign-up sheet in the back, and you can also visit us at our website, which is cslmorristown.org. It is such a gift for us to have this beautiful space, which we celebrated last month. We've been down here for a year. We've actually been connected to Brookside Community Church for almost 5 years. And I don't believe, because I know how it happened, that it would have happened at all. And certainly not so joyously, without our special guest speaker today, Reverend Nicolette Siragusa, who's the pastor of Brookside Community Church. Best neighbors, landlords, friends in the world. And we are always so grateful and blessed when Reverend Nicolette comes down after her own service and shares her own worship service and shares her wisdom with us. And I am always so grateful and blessed to welcome my love, Reverend Rich Volk, who is doing the music for us today. So the CSL theme for 2026 is Open at the Top, right? And the monthly theme for July is Whole No Matter What. And Reverend Nicolette's topic today is reaping what you didn't sow. So we will begin now with our Namaste practice, which is how we begin every Sunday. And Namaste means the divinity within me recognizes and honors the divinity within you. And when I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, there is only one of us. And sometimes I see people I haven't seen in so long, and I'm like, oh, and I recognize you. And we're celebrating our wholeness this month, so we can, when we namaste, when we give the greeting, let's also recognize the wholeness, which is the divinity in each one of us. So please offer a namaste greeting to someone you already know. So I invite you to get comfortable for our meditation, our guided meditation this morning. So just allow yourself to find a comfortable space in your chair and within. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, you can close your eyes and turn your sight within. Let's take a deep breath together. And as you breathe in, feel yourself receiving life. And as you breathe out, let go of anything that you no longer need to carry. Again, breathing in peace, breathing out tension, breathing in presence, and breathing out distraction. Now just find your own natural rhythm of breath. It divine inhale and the sacred exhale. And allow your awareness to gently settle into the quiet place within you. That sacred place that has always been there, untouched by circumstance, untouched by the opinions of others, untouched by fear or doubt. As your mind grows still, I invite you to imagine a beautiful garden stretching before you in your mind's eye. It is rich with life, vibrant with possibility, and nourished by love itself. Walk through this garden slowly. Notice its colors. Notice its fragrance. Notice its vibrant beauty. This garden represents your own soul. Within it are seeds that were planted by the divine. Seeds of compassion. Seeds of wisdom. Seeds of joy. Seeds of courage. Creativity, kindness, and love. These are the qualities that have always belonged to you. Now, perhaps as you continue walking, you notice a few weeds growing among the flowers. Without judgment, simply observe them. Maybe they represent an old belief. Maybe they represent a criticism that you accepted as truth. Or even a fear that was never really yours. Or maybe a story someone else told you about who you should be. Simply notice them. There is no need to pull them out. There's no need to struggle against them. Simply recognize them for what they are. They're not the garden. They're not the gardener. And they certainly are not the truth of who you are. Now take a breath and bring your attention back to the healthy, vibrant plants. And see how strong they are. How deeply rooted they are. And feel their life energy. And know that this life is your life. For the divine has never planted anything in you except wholeness. And love has never forgotten your true identity. Spirit has never seen you as anything less than complete. So I invite you to silently affirm, I remember who I am. I release what was never mine to carry. I welcome the truth of my own divine nature. I am whole. I have always been whole. And just rest for a few seconds in that awareness, allowing yourself to simply be. As you slowly and gently begin to bring your awareness back into this room, carry with you the gentle certainty that your wholeness has never been lost. It has only been waiting to be remembered. And as we prepare our hearts for today's message, we are reminded that the world may have tried to define us in many ways, but the divine has always known the truth. And the song that we are about to hear is a beautiful affirmation of that truth. So may you receive its words as if Spirit were singing them directly to your heart, reminding you of the beauty, the worthiness, and the wholeness that has always been yours. And so we simply listen and remember.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle, and how deeply you're connected to my soul? How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle, and how deeply you're connected to my soul? It is my great pleasure to welcome Reverend Nicolette. She's always great.
Thank you, so kind. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me. It is always such a joy to be among you. Over on the other side, we are in the midst of some of the parables of Jesus. So Jesus taught in parables because he wanted to use examples from everyday life to reveal something about the divine. And we as humans, we better understand stories than if someone just tells us things. So beautiful metaphors of the garden, we understand that, we can see that, we can breathe into that. So one of the parables that Jesus tells us is the parable of the sower. And we learn from that parable, because that's not the parable for today. What we learn from that parable is that for seeds to grow and flourish, they need good soil. They need soil that has some depth to it, that is loosened and turned, that is free of weeds. And in that environment, in good soil, seeds will grow and flourish, bear fruit into the world. The parable that I'm going to tell you today is about a farm, and the soil is good, it's been turned, it's prepared, and then the sower goes out. So this comes from the Gospel of Matthew. So Jesus tells them this parable. The kingdom of heaven, that always sounds to me like something really far away. We talk about, heaven is after we pass away from this life and into the next. So I'm going to tweak that to another phrase that we often use, is the realm of God. So the world where God is actually in charge of what is happening. So the realm of God may be compared to someone who sowed good seed in his field. But while everybody slept, an enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and then went away. So how many of you grow wheat? Could you tell if wheat was what was growing? So wheat is a grass. So when the grasses, they all look the same as they start to come up. So the parable says, when the plants came up and bore grain, then the weeds appeared as well. So the only way that they knew something was wrong was it had gotten to the point where they were ready to bear seeds. So they're like, wait, that one's wheat. What's that one? The enslaved workers of the household came to the landowner and said, Master, did you not sow good seed in your field? In other words, were you the one who did this? Mm-hmm. Where then did these weeds come from? And he answered, an enemy has done this. Now, I don't know to what end this enemy, was it a practical joke? Why would you, I sowed weeds in your field? I'm not entirely sure why. But again, story, not real life, metaphor, so they asked, do you want us to go and gather the weeds? But he replied, no, for in gathering the weeds, you would uproot the wheat along with them. Their roots have become entangled. Mm-hmm. So let both of them grow until the harvest. And at harvest time, I'll tell the reapers, collect the weeds first, bundle them, gather them, burn them, and then gather the wheat into my barn. Now, I would like to end there, except Matthew, this gospel writer, really likes to explain things. It's like he really loves to explain things. So if you read this story, you would read Matthew's explanation. So I'm going to give you Matthew's explanation, but we're just going to put a little pin in it. So the disciples said, explain to us the parable of the weeds of the field. And Jesus answered, the one who sows good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. The weeds are the children of the evil one. And the enemy who sowed them is the devil. And the harvest is the end of the age, and the reapers are angels. Just as the weeds are collected and burned in the fire, so it will be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will collect from his kingdom all the causes of sin and evildoers. And they will throw them into the furnace of fire where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. He really gets into it here. And then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Let anyone with ears listen. Now, all right. Some will tell you that this is a parable about people, and that God sows good people in the earth, and an enemy sows bad people in the earth, and we're all forced to coexist until the end times, where the good will be gathered into heaven and the bad will be punished. One thing you should know about me is I don't believe in good people and bad people. I believe people can do good things and people can do bad things, but I don't believe that there are good people and bad people. Nor do I believe in weeds. A friend once told me that a weed is an innocent plant that is growing where you don't want it to grow. It is our perspective and our desire that makes it a weed, not the plant itself. I don't think Jesus believed in good people and bad people either. He was constantly working to humanize the other, people that, oh, they're bad, oh, they're being punished, oh, they need to be on the outside. He was constantly taking those who were considered bad and demonstrating forgiveness and offering reconciliation. The kind of simplistic labeling of good and bad, I think, should be left to classic Disney movies, where the good guys always win and the bad guys always get what they deserve in the end. But I say classic Disney movies because in recent times, modern Disney movies will take even the worst of the worst. So as a kid and as an adult, I identified the worst, scariest bad guy as Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. Terrified me. But modern Disney has given Maleficent a backstory that shows that her actions are reactions to the pain that she has experienced. But we really like labeling good guys and bad guys. And it starts earlier than you would imagine. How often, when you see someone holding a quiet, smiling baby, will someone go up and say, "Oh, what a good baby"? Are you curious about what makes a good baby from a bad baby? Because I came across a really helpful chart this week and I would like to share it with you. So good babies get hungry at unpredictable times. They wake up in the middle of the night. They spit up everywhere. They fight sleep. They cry in the car. They bite while nursing. They insist on being held. They fuss in the middle of church. Bad babies commit tax fraud. And they forge passports, and they rob banks, and they launder money. In other words, being quieter or easier to soothe doesn't make a baby good. Nor does being fussier or harder to calm down make a baby bad. These are brand new humans who don't have the decision-making capacity about how they are acting. They're merely reacting to how they feel in the moment. They're not good or bad. They're babies. And sometimes I wonder if that's how God sees us. Not as good people or bad people, but people who might be easier to get along with and people who are a little more difficult. People who are simply reacting to the lives they find themselves in. So instead of imagining the field as the world with good people and bad people, I want to bring us back to Reverend Janice's garden. If the field is us, if the field is our souls, our lives, the divine has planted within us those good seeds, those seeds of love and compassion and creativity and gentleness, those seeds that when they flower and bear fruit, bring beauty and generosity and kindness into the world. But the divine is not the only one who plants seeds within us. We are a part of the world, and we are shaped by our experiences within it. Again, I don't believe in bad people. I don't believe in bad and evil people, but I do believe that people have the capacity to cause great hurt and great harm. and that the hurts and harms each one of us experience becomes a seed that is planted in our soul. These seeds of mistrust or pain might over time grow into a weed that might even bear seeds of its own. The weeds of anger and malice, fear, selfishness. These, if we're not careful, we might sow in another person's field. The idea that each of us contains both what is good and life-giving and that which causes harm is not solely a Judeo-Christian idea. One of my favorites is the Cherokee parable, the parable of the two wolves. So an elder once said to their grandchild, "A fight is going on inside of me. It is a terrible fight between two wolves. One is evil. That wolf is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego." The elder continued, "The other is good. That wolf is joy and peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The fight is going on within me and within you and within every other person." And so the child thinks for a moment and asks the elder, "Which wolf will win?" And the elder replies, "The one you feed." Now in the Cherokee parable, there's a sense of control. You can feed the good parts of you, make them stronger so that your better nature will win. Be mindful then of where you spend your energy, what part of your nature you nurture and support. In Jesus' parable, there's less a sense of control and more a sense of acceptance. The landowner who has only sown good knows that bad has infiltrated the field and that both have sprouted together. They are intertwined. You cannot remove the weeds without harming the wheat. Now, as much as I wish that no one experienced certain hurts or harms that planted those seeds of sorrow or fear or doubt, I also know that those seeds are part of shaping the overall landscape of who I am and who I've become. I know that some of the good fruit I bear in the world, some of the love and the forgiveness and the strength that I have, is in direct relationship with the harms and the hardships I have known. And I know also that some of these seeds have sprouted into weeds that bear seeds of their own, and if I am not careful, I will sow them in another person's field. The saying, hurt people, the idea that those who have been harmed will cause harm, invites us both to find empathy for those who are causing harm, and also to be mindful of how our own hurts might manifest in causing harm to others. But this parable from Jesus, it's not simply about how we live in this moment, about the complexities of being human. He begins it again by saying, "The realm of God is like," and then ends with this description of the harvest. If the human soul is like weeds and wheat that have grown up together, if it is like two wolves battling for dominance, if good and evil are wrestling within us, then what is the realm of God like? It's like the harvest. When all of the weeds, all of the causes of sin and evil, not bad people, but the causes that have those seeds that have been planted within us, the causes of all sin and evil, everything that contaminates our souls, gathered and burned away. Now, I imagine this not as a physical punishment, but the kind of carefully controlled burning that we do to remove impurities from gold or to sanitize medical instruments, where you would kill the bacteria by passing the instrument over flame. The kingdom of heaven, or the realm of God, it's when the best part of each of us is mixed with the best part of everyone else. In the book of Revelation, it's the final book in our scriptures. It says, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. And God will be with them and be their God and wipe every tear from their eyes. Death will be no more. Mourning and crying and pain will be no more, for the first things have passed away." Which sounds lovely, but again, it's very future-oriented. What do we do in the present with all of these weeds and wheat commingling in our fields? Do we wait for some external shift to happen, or are there ways that we make manifest this vision now? The realm of God is meant to be an image of the world as it could be, the world that we seek to make around us. In the Christian tradition, we often end prayer with, "May it be so." But in the Science of Mind tradition, you proclaim, "And so it is." And so it is that we acknowledge that we are able to dwell in the goodness that is in us now. And we're able to bear good fruit now. And we're able to look at the weeds and acknowledge them and say, yep, it's there, but it will not prevent the glorious garden from blooming. We can't remove or eradicate the weeds. They shape the landscape of our experience. They are part of who we are and what makes us who we are. But we can mitigate their ability to cause further harm. We can pinch those little buds so they don't go to seed. We can make sure that they don't choke the life out of that which is life-giving. Within each of us, I believe the divine has sown the potential to bear good fruit. God believes in us, believes in our capacity for good, for we are made in the image of the divine. So may the goodness within you flourish and grow and blossom and bear bountiful fruit to feed this hungry world. And so it is.
So it is. I'll get there. When I was a boy each week, on Sunday we would go to church and pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we were learning about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. I remember feeling sad that miracles don't happen still, but now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so fun, but an even better magic trick that anything is here at all. So challenging thing becomes, I found to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips, but now I have to hold my breath, like I'm swimming in the sea of it. It used to be a world out there, heaven's second mate hand me down, but now I'm with a walking hope spare, cause everything is holy now. You can sing with me. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. One more. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face and say it's not a testament. Well, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come and say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when the trucks let out, how things have changed since then, cause everything is holy now. 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 Everything is holy.
So beautiful, with a beautiful message. And I just want to take a moment, and it's not something we do here a lot, that's in our spiritual living, but I think it's important to note, and especially because next year, in 2027, it will be 100 years since Ernest Holmes wrote the Science of Mind textbook. We're celebrating 100 years. In the back, on that counter, is a Science of Mind textbook. That is the book that we use as our Bible. It is what the teaching sprung from. It is the book we study in classes. Not a lot of people know, because people have kind of questioned this, that there is a whole section of the book on the teachings of Jesus, because it was a Christian-based philosophy. And we don't focus on that necessarily because we do metaphysical interpretations of the teachings of Jesus, which I believe Reverend Nicolette did so magnificently today. And I so appreciate that. Because we don't really do it. You know, we say we're all inclusive, which of course we are. Everything and everyone is welcome here. But sometimes I think it's also important to go back to our roots, which included that. And there are many people who come who were even raised in a Christian faith, or even a Jewish faith, of course, and didn't study the teachings of Jesus, but there is deep truth that is shared in all of the great religions. And when it is distilled down to the truth, the way we talk about it so often, we sometimes forget. I know I was raised Catholic and I was very influenced by the Gospels, but only heard them in the way that Reverend Nicolette delivered that, and then this will come down and that will come down and the evil will burn out. You know, and I thought it was like really, it was real. So it's so, I've been, you know, so transformed by the metaphysical interpretation. So I thank you for coming and giving us that, because it isn't something we do a lot. but it is part of our teaching and our tradition. So it was very welcomed, and I think we all, if any part of it, if some of it doesn't ring true, if the J word doesn't work for you, it was delivered in such a way that you can, I believe, find the truth for yourself. So thank you again. So now it's time for us to celebrate our abundance. So we have a few things to actually pass around. As many of you know, we love our social hour, and for a very long time people would sign up and bring things. We've been having a lot of potlucks because there haven't been a lot of sign-ups. Of course, it's fine, whatever, but we've redone this. Oh, Christina, she's out there. But it was the social hour team, or we have a lot of teams and they cross over, whoever it was, we decided that we would make it a little easier to sign up for social hour. You only have to bring one thing, and you can share, and you can do it with other people. So I'm going to pass it around this way, and if you can want to sign up for something, a whole Sunday or a part of it, it would be great, and we do appreciate everybody who does, and people who bring things for potluck, which is what we're having today. I'm also going to pass around the basket. We do collect actual, collection of your magnificent treasures that we are so grateful that you share with us on Sunday if you want to give that way. We have many other ways to give. There are QR codes in the back. We accept PayPal, we accept Venmo. We now accept Zelle, which is like instant and no fee. So if anybody wants to use that, all that information is in the back. Yes, Sam?
I was going to say, a QR code for Zelle last week for me.
Were you in your Zelle when you did it? Okay, I'll check it out. Thank you for letting me know. I will check that out. We're registered in Zelle with our email address. In the back on this side are instructions on how to give on any of those platforms. So if you need any help with that, please see me or let me know. And we are so grateful for them. Resources that you give so wonderfully that allow us to do what we do and spread the message that we spread. So please join me in our offering affirmation. Please repeat after me. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly. As I share my good, I accept my greater good. And so it is. Law of circulation in action. So we have a few announcements. The marketing action for July is to share affirmative prayer, which we also refer to as spiritual mind treatment. And what I've done is I've created a little spiritual mind treatment cheat sheet. In the back, you can take them home with you. It's a little, has the 5 steps, some examples of how to actually do a spiritual mind treatment for yourself, and to explain it to somebody. So if you want to do this, if you want to find a friend and explain to them what spiritual mind treatment is or affirmative prayer, how it's helped you and how it has influenced your life, please do so. Share one of those flyers if you feel comfortable doing so. And if you're comfortable with the steps, share a spiritual mind treatment. And we see this as a way to give our center and the teaching greater visibility in the world and to raise consciousness at the same time. So, double.
Yes. May I offer, if you would like to practice doing that, I will be your guinea pig.
All right.
It's a hard thing to go out and talk to people. So I am a willing person who you can teach me and we can practice because it is not. It's related to our tradition, but it's not the same. So anyone wants to practice.
Thank you, Reverend Nicolette. Wonderful. I want to thank Jean Lee for leading our meditations on Wednesday morning, and she will be continuing to do that through July, 9:30 to 1 o'clock. There's flyers in the back, QR code to help you get onto Zoom. It's on Zoom. Gail's not here today, right? Gail, she leads a healing circle on the first Friday of every month. The next one is going to be on August 7th. There's flyers in the back. Please join us. There are still Signs of Mind magazines for July and August that are in the back, so please take them. And that's really all we have. It's a quiet summer, but things will be coming up. So just keep coming on Sundays. There's no other practitioner here. I will do Treatment Express today up front if anybody wants a treatment after our celebration, and then you can go explain to Reverend Nicolette what you just experienced. So we'll tag team on that. So thank you for being here. I am going to close with a closing treatment, and then Reverend Rich will end with a song. So let's just take a breath and find our place in consciousness again in this sacred garden, in the realm of God, in that beautiful vibration of heaven that exists in our own being, in our heart and in our soul. And it is in this place that we not only recognize the divine in, through, and as us, but we accept all of our humanity, all of our experiences, all that has come before, and all that is part of who we are. And as we accept all of who we are, we open for the divine and the divine intelligence to continue to move our awareness more and more on the divine qualities, on those beautiful flowers that have sprouted of love and peace and joy. So that vibration not only becomes our dominant vibration, but it is the vibration that we then go forth and sow into the world. So the world is able to reap a higher consciousness of more love and cooperation and interconnection and interdependence with each other, where we are able to see wholeness in all people, whether they are demonstrating it or not. Because as we bring that love and acceptance to the world becomes a reflection of that, for that is all it is. It is how we see it, and we see it through the eyes of God, through the eyes of love. And so let us go forth today, feeling this aliveness and this love within us, and scatter the seeds of love everywhere we go, with a smile, with a connection as we look into someone's eyes, with compassion and kindness and patience. Even if we see or notice that there are weeds around us or even within us, we still bring this highest love, compassion, and kindness. And so, with so much gratitude, knowing that this truth lives through, in, and as us, I release this word into the law as we are all released into the glory of this magnificent day and the beauty of our lives. And I know that the law allows us to have a greater experience as we move forward in every single moment. And so for this and so much more, I say thank you, God, and we say together,
And everybody knows this tune. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Right here in Brookside, I'm gonna let it shine. Right here in Brookside, shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. In God's plan now. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Hope to see you. Have a beautiful day. Oh, and today, I forgot, we have rock painting today. I just looked at Lynn, I was like, I knew I was forgetting something. We're going to be painting rocks. So Lynn has all the supplies. If you didn't bring a rock, I think there's some outside. You can go, during social hour, you can find a rock. I mean, not a boulder. Well, if you can pick up a boulder, you can bring that too. But bring a rock, and we're going to rock some fun and creativity after social hour. Thank you, Lynn, for these great ideas.